What's good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Cane Town Raider. Back with you after another disappointing week of football, man. We dropped another one to another team that we have no business losing to at this point. I mean, I guess we do have business losing to them. We lose to fucking everybody these days. So let's get into it. Derek Carr, I don't think he had one positive yard going into the second quarter. I think we were in the negative passing. Devontae Adams, once they got going, Devontae Adams, as always, was phenomenal. Looked great. Josh Jacobs, after it took him a little while, got his motor running a little bit. But yeah, just seems like no matter how good it looks for the short amount of time, eventually, everything goes south and we drop the ball at the end of the game. It's sad. I love this team through ups and downs, man. But these downs, when they get to when they get this deep down, it's pretty tough being a Raider fan. So we had the lead multiple times in the game. It was back and forth, and it looked like we had a good shot to win it at the end. Unfortunately, we drove downfield and turned it over on downs with another bad fourth down play call. It was a good little pitch to Josh Jacobs from 4th and 2, and he got stuffed. It's part of the game. Shit happens. Like I said, Jacobs looked good again. We actually got to see a little bit more of Zamir White, a little bit more of Amir Abdullah in this one, and I like that. It's good to see these young guys getting a little bit of burn. Amir Abdullah is not really one of the young guys, but he's an exciting player to watch, man. And I think watching him play and everything can get you going. Big Mike might be here a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, Big Mike's going to be joining me today here in a little bit. He's going to help me break this down. As far as our defense goes, it's kind of hard, right? Because they looked all right because they were holding a team to relatively holding them to not too much scoring and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, it was the fucking Colts who averaged 14 points a game. And we let that team that averages 14 points a game put up 25 points on us. So that makes that, it goes from our defense. We're like, hey, we held somebody. And then you think about who it is. It's a Matt Ryan. I mean, it made it a little less bad that it was Matt Ryan, I guess. He's been dog shit this year. But it wasn't Sam Ehlinger's third string ass. So I guess that helps a little bit. And then Jonathan Taylor, we held him in check for a little bit. Eventually he busted a 66-yard run for a touchdown, and we couldn't hold him either. Few bright spots on the defense. Sam Webb got the start, and I feel like he looked really, really good. He got beat a couple times, but for a guy who back in the preseason we didn't know he was going to make the roster, I was really happy watching him take on the Colts starting wide receivers. Hold on, let's get some glare from this light. Let me move this. There we go. But yeah, so yeah, Sam Webb looked good. The rest of our secondary outside of Rocky Sin looked their normal trash selves. Our linebackers were I was pleased with Luke Masterson. I thought Luke Masterson looked good. Hope he gets a lot more playing time going forward. Even if Divine Diablo comes back here in a few weeks, hopefully they keep Masterson out there a little bit. And hopefully these guys can, have a shot to make the team next year. And same with Darian Butler. Our D-line Max broke his string of like 3 games it was without a sack. So it was good to see him get back there. It was funny because it looked like Chandler Jones was actually going to get a sack, and he whiffed on the tackle, and Max Crosby took his sack. So, just Chandler continues not having any luck getting to the quarterback at all. Let's see. Who else? Oh.
My man, what's going on, bro?
What's good, Big Mike?
Man, nothing much, man. That game, man.
Oh man, it was fun to watch, to be honest. Going back and forth, there's a lot of changing of the lead and a lot of lead changes, but eventually, like so many other times this season, we end up on the shit end of the stick.
Man, those same games we were winning last year.
Yeah, yeah, man.
It's crazy. It's like we were kind of getting. It's kind of evening out from what happened last year. Like we were winning those games, and now it's kind of evening out to losses now. So, it's rough. It's rough to see that because, I don't know about you, but last year it was like, we get in these situations where like, oh, DC's about to get it done because he was getting it done last year. But now I'm like, oh, here we go again. I'm conditioned now to be like, dude, like we're not gonna get it done, bro.
Yeah, it's like the whole game. Like you get excited when something happens in the back of your mind, though. You just know, what's coming.
What's crazy is like we got in the red zone, or we was like pretty damn close to the red zone, and we got to 4th down, and I was like, bro, we're not gonna get this 4th down. I just had a feeling it wasn't gonna happen for us, and then DC throws that like fade or whatever to Devontae, and I was like, that was the answer. Like for real, like that's the play we went to.
Right, you call a timeout to plan that.
Right, like a fade route to Devontae against like an all-pro corner. Well, he once was an all-pro. He's playing.
I think he still plays at that level, man.
Yeah, he's still playing at that level right now. It's like, dude, like that's the best you got, bro. Like,
yeah, it's just once these guys reach prehistoric age, they stop getting the love, whether they're still good or not. I mean, how many years is Adrian Peterson still showing that he was the shit when he got his opportunities? But year after year, nobody gives him a shot until they needed to.
And that's the thing, man. It's like, those kind of guys, it's like you can depend on them for one play. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if that means they're giving 100% and that's pretty much they're exhausting all resources to get that one play done, they're going to get it done. And that's kind of what we saw. It's like, hey, he's gonna make sure that he's gonna make that play. So that's exactly what we got, bro.
Yeah, and I was even kind of excited for how for the most of the game, Jonathan Taylor didn't have his foot in our ass. We did a really good job kind of holding him to what we could hold him to until it is until it isn't, and he took off on that 66-yard run, man, and that was Dunsky.
Yeah, a lot of these running backs, it's like they have these big numbers sometimes because they get that one big play.
Right?
It's not very often where you see like, hey, this dude really carved us 6 yards at a time. You know what I mean?
Facts. Most running backs, if you take away their long runs, the best backs in the league probably only average 4 to 4.5. The guys you see averaging 5.5 carries because every single game they find a way to bust one for like 30 to 50 yards.
Right.
Maybe 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a consistent. If you get somebody that's averaging about 5, it's not an average 5. It's not a consistent 5. Now, I will say that Josh Jacobs is pretty damn close to that.
He is, because you don't see Josh break like 30, 50-yard runs very often. Maybe once every 2 or 3 games he'll get one, but pretty much he's in there, 3 to 6 yards every single play.
Right. He carves you. Like he's methodical. He's surgical with the way he'll kill you because he doesn't have that speed. He's not a breakaway speed type of dude. He'll get his 5-6 yards and just keep killing you that way. And in the fourth quarter, he'll break for about 20 yards, and like, all right,
he's got that Marshawn Lynch mentality, that run through a motherfucker's face 100 times and you've got to deal with him very more. Yeah. So that's
old school. That's an old school running back, bro. That's old school. You don't see that in today's game. Now Henry can do that, but you know what I noticed about him is that like he's like 2 yards a pop, because
Right.
you know they stack the box on him, and then like he'll catch you slipping in the fourth quarter, and he'll run for like 40 or 50 on you, and then throw for another, and then run for another 30, and then now all of a sudden he ran for 100 yards. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. We got El Capitan in the comments right now. Salute, bro.
Salute.
How you doing tonight? What was I want to get his thoughts on the game too. He hit me up after my first live, and he was looking to do a show together here soon. So me and him are gonna have to get together, man. Maybe bring him up here with me and you sometime soon.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Before you came on, I was kind of going through what I thought the bright spots were. Devontae seems like a bright spot every week, except for every once in a while.
Yeah, Devontae was on another level last night or yesterday. Like every time he was throwing the ball, he was getting them extra yards. I know it was like late in the fourth. It was like a third down. He was right at that line, and he dragged a couple of people like an extra 5 yards, bro. Like that's
the difference between someone like Devontae Adams and the average motherfucker in the NFL.
Right.
That's how bad Devontae Adams wants to go out there and get a win.
Yeah. His yards after the catch is ridiculous, bro. Like you think he's gonna get caught right there or maybe get a couple more yards. He's finding ways to get you 5 to 10 more yards after the contact. And he's not like a super strong dude. He's just
wants it that fucking bad.
Yeah, and he knows the defense. He knows where they're. It's almost like he has like a step ahead. Like mentally, he knows like mentally where you're gonna try to go, and he goes there. He goes the opposite way before you can even kind of process where you're trying to do next. He's just one of those dudes that's just like a brain for the game. And I don't even necessarily say that it's athleticism. Like, don't get me wrong, he's very athletic, but his strength, bro.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like Tyreek Hill out there.
No, it's not. He's like, don't get me wrong, he's athletic, but he just has a brain for the game to where he knows where you're trying to go, and then he'll go the opposite way before you can even like respond or react to what he's trying to do. It's brilliant watching him play, man.
That's what makes him special. You take the speed away, you take the strength away, and you just go off of the mentality and just the knowing what to do, when to do it, and wanting it more. And that's, to me, what makes Devontae Adams the best wide receiver in football. Because he's fast, he's strong, whatever. So is everybody.
Right.
Everybody at that level is fast and strong. You get a guy that runs a 4.8 and everybody looks at him like he's slow. That's fast.
Yeah.
But you take all that away, and then you really see how good somebody is. How much attention do they pay to their route running? How much attention how much dog do they have in them, that when they have two guys that grab them 3 yards short and he's going to push and get that.
Yep.
I think to me, that's what makes a great wide receiver. Everybody's fast and strong.
And that's what makes him the best wide receiver in the league right now.
Absolutely.
The numbers aren't necessarily showing it, even though he has 8 touchdowns this season.
He's on pace for like 110 catches and 1,400 yards.
Yeah.
Quietly.
Like he's still quietly, right? And what's funny is that like people will be like, "Oh yeah, Derek Carr and the Raiders are ruining his career." Like, dude, he's still 100 plus catches. He's still like 1,400 yards, like you said, and he's about to have 15 touchdowns at least.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So,
what's good, Prez?
Yo, Prez, what's up, bro?
Yeah, bro. I don't care what anybody says. Aaron Rodgers' team is pissed, like shit, like ours.
Yeah,
he's missing Devontae a lot more than Devontae is missing him. He's having a lot rougher, personally, of a year than Devontae is. Devontae still looks like an All-Pro. Rodgers is,
Yeah. You know what? I would say this about the Packers is that I don't know if you saw the Cowboys game, but they're starting to figure it out on offense. At least against that's how it looked like against the Cowboys. They're starting to figure this out.
Christian Watson had his first real big game, really showed what he can do. Like, I was real big on Christian Watson coming into the draft.
Same.
And he kind of hadn't really got there yet. But yeah, he looked really good this week.
Yep.
I think that whoever takes over for Aaron Rodgers, because let's be honest, Aaron Rodgers ain't coming back to the Packers after this year. He's not doing this again.
Yeah, I don't see it.
So whoever takes that spot is gonna have a nice little wide receiver core once they figure out what the fuck they're doing.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you, man.
There's a lot of talent on that core that a lot of people don't know.
That's true. That's true.
And especially when we trade them Darren Waller, oh man, they're gonna have him too.
Right. Yo.
I have a feeling that's still gonna happen. I think that's the team that really wants him, and I think they're gonna eventually give up some good for him. I think we're gonna let him have him.
Yeah, well, I did read something. I forgot where I read it from, so I don't want to quote anybody, but I did read that they are frustrated with Darren Waller and his I guess his want to of trying to come back from this injury and all this stuff. Like they're starting to question his drive and his dedication.
About fucking time.
This is stuff that we've been screaming about for weeks, bro. Yeah,
we've been questioning since last year.
That's true.
I don't know how
we gave him a pass last year because it was like, all right, we were still banking on the stuff that he did in 2020. You know what I mean?
Right.
But so now it's like expired. That's dead now. Like it's
you can't go off that now. It's like it's like, bro, you're an average tight end at this point.
Yeah.
Your skill set is an average, but the way you're playing, even when you're healthy, has been average. And you're dropping balls. And bro, I don't want him to come back this year. I want Foster Moreau to be our starting tight end the rest of the year.
I said that since the Titans game. I think Foster Moreau is a better tight end, better athlete.
He blocks better.
Is a better athlete, but a better tight end is Foster Moreau. Foster Moreau can block. Foster Moreau can get the short passes. He doesn't ever drop balls. Like he's reliable. You know what I mean? Like
in 2020, he was a beast in the red zone.
Exactly. He's a red zone threat. So I'm going with Foster Moreau. Like I said to you on Twitter, bro. Like we don't need a star tight end to be successful, bro. We don't need
someone to be consistent.
Yeah, we just need a consistent tight end, and I'm willing to get rid of Waller if that means that we can turn that into some draft pieces or even bring in a couple of defensive pieces. So, hey, peace, Darren Waller. If that means that we got to part ways, it was fun, but hey, we were trying to build things around here. So,
absolutely. What's up, Sniper Jones?
What's up, bro?
Yo, Sniper, you free right now? I'll send you the link right now if you want to come through.
Man, for real.
But so there was Devontae. What other bright spots did you see? I saw Sam Webb looking really, really good on defense. He got beat a couple times, but I mean that's to be expected. This dude, we didn't even know he was going to make the roster.
Yeah, you know what? I do like the fact that they did throw in a lot of these the youth movement. I did see Polamalu on special teams. He looked pretty solid. We saw Masterson in middle linebacker.
Good too.
Yeah, he looked pretty solid. Besides Darian Butler not picking up that fumble,
Yeah.
I
thought he had it. I was like, we got it. And then he moves away from the ball and it's still there. Like, bro, you forgot something.
Yeah, like, bro, that was the win right there. We had it wrapped up. Like, next play they score a touchdown, bro. Like, geez.
Yeah.
So, I like the youth movement being out there. I got to check out film and see how he did, how these youngsters did. But, I like seeing Masterson out there. I like seeing Webb out there. This might be the future of our defense. So,
yeah. I can see Masterson being a starting linebacker on a regular basis. He's the dude can cover. He made a couple nice stops on Jonathan Taylor in between the tackles.
Yeah, particularly in the red zone. That red zone play.
Yeah,
when he came in, he just like went through one of the gaps and just like shot through there super quick and just attacked him. I like seeing that.
I really like we should get another inside linebacker in the draft. Mm-hmm. And I think in a 3-4, having 4 guys you can rotate in and out is probably ideal.
Yep.
I think we have 3 right now. Divine Diablo has his struggles, but I still think Divine Diablo has a shot to be a really good linebacker.
Yeah, you know what? Only thing with him is like he's really got to improve on the coverage, man. That's like we need a coverage linebacker. Yeah. And Javon Brown, was it Javon Brown? Jayon Brown. Yeah, he's not getting it done, bro. Like I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like it kind of reminds me of when we picked up a dude from the Rams, and it didn't work out with him either. I can't think of his name either, but
Littleton.
Yeah. When we got Littleton, it just didn't work out either.
I'm like pissed, man, because I liked Littleton a lot when he was with the Rams.
I don't know what it is about these cover linebackers. We're not getting it right, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's because we keep going after old motherfuckers that have been playing in the league for a while.
Right.
Waller's in the game plan for us next season. Packers tried to trade him twice, and it was a no-go. I really hope that's not true. I just hope we haven't got the offer we're looking for, or they were hoping he was going to come back. And, you know, he got put on the IR after they said no to the trade. So I hope he's not back next year. I don't think his heart's in the game. And I know his hands aren't in the game. He's dropped enough.
And you know the problem with keeping Waller for longer is that value goes lower.
Yeah, you're not going to get as much for him. And do we really want to keep that contract on the books now after the way he's played? Do we really want to pay him $17 million? He's the offense version of Chandler Jones with basically the same fucking contract.
Yep, it's true. And you know what? The only team that I can see biting on something like that is one of them teams that are like in super rebuild mode that's trying to find lightning in a bottle, like Texans or the Bears or something like that. You know, somebody that's like, hey, we really need a big time player.
Swap Waller for Brandon Cooks. I'll take that.
I'll take that. I'll take anything at this point, man.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So how did you feel the offensive line looked? I think they held up pretty well. I mean, I saw a couple plays where they broke down, but for the most part, Carr stayed pretty clean.
Yeah, you know, and the sack that he took early in the game, that was on Carr. He really should have got rid of the ball.
Never gets rid of the fucking ball.
Yeah, he's like, take off if anything, bro. Like
something.
You know, at this point, yeah, something. But you know what? At this point, like I've already exhausted trying to, hey, Carr, do this. Like it's already past that at this point. You're just like, all right, bro, you ain't gonna do it. It's been 9 years and you haven't done it. So, but as far as the O-line goes, bro, like I think they played the best game of the season. I think they played their best game of the season. I mean, I saw their PFF grade as a whole was pretty high. It was in the 70s. And they gave Carr a bunch of time. The running game was solid. Like that nobody really broke down. I mean, the only thing that I could say like is Illuminor with the damn holding penalties, man. And then Colton Miller, he got called for like a tripping penalty off that jet sweep was kind of trash. But besides that, man, the penalties, bro, like we really got to like stop with all the penalties. Like that's what really messed us up in this game.
It's weird because didn't we start the season like 2 or 3 games without a penalty?
Yeah. We started off really like at the bottom, and now we're going back to our old Raider ways, bro. But that just tells me
at least if we're gonna be at the top of the league in penalties, drop kick a motherfucker in the face or something. You know?
Right. You know, seriously, bro. You know, there's two penalties that I don't mind taking. One is like a like unnecessary roughness if like a receiver's going across the middle and the safety just takes his ass out.
Yeah,
bro, I would take that anytime. And as a coach, I would be like, hey, make the statement as a defense and hit him. I'll pay for your fine, bro.
Yep, and it's going to make that receiver not want to go over the middle again.
Right, you're making a statement on defense.
You just jack Tatum his ass, and you'll think twice.
Yeah, like, bro, there's just certain things that you just got. You have to take, you know, and that's one of them. And another one is like, hey, like I can take some holding penalties, you know, like if it's like not super egregious, like if you're protecting your quarterback and you want him to get hit, okay, fine. Or if you know you're in there and you as all offensive linemen cheat, bro. I'm gonna tell you that from this perspective.
Oh,
you know, they all cheat.
They hold every play.
They hold every play. So it's just a matter if the ref wants to call it or not.
Right. They're in there punching face mask to the side, all that.
Yeah, that's every play. So you know, like I could take those kind of penalties, but tripping and then like legal man downfield, like bro, you got to have some discipline. You know. Yeah. So that kind of stuff is like, bro, that's unacceptable. Besides that, I can take holding, I can take unnecessary roughness. So, you know, that's kind of where I'm at with penalties, man.
Yeah. I can take a pass interference to avoid a touchdown too.
That too. Yeah. Because at that point, you know, you got to give your defense a chance.
This team has quit this season. Good thing a big part of this team is gone for 23. I don't know about y'all, but I believe in Patrick Graham. Versatility is the name of the game, and he needs his guys. I 100% agree with you, Sniper Jones. I'm not in favor of getting rid of Patrick Graham yet.
Yeah, Patrick Graham has proven that he can be a solid defensive coordinator in this league. if he has the pieces. And I think right now he's showing that he just doesn't have the pieces to fit in that system.
Right. And I do see bright spots on this defense. It's not like we're just getting mowed over all game, every game. There's potential in some of these guys. Yeah. And there are some of these guys that do fit his scheme and are going to stick around. But I mean, it is going to be a pretty big overhaul either way.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, as far as the Raiders goes, like as far as like how they looked against the Colts, like, yeah, we lost to Jeff Saturday, but you got to look at what they have, bro. Like they have one of the top defenses in the league, numbers wise. They have one of the top defenses in the league, and when healthy, they have one of the best offensive line in the league, and they have one of the best rushing attacks in the league. Yeah. And against us, they figured all of it out. They figured it all out. You know what I mean? If they were struggling before, they found it against us. So
everybody. Yeah. I don't think we would have won if Sam Ehlinger was the quarterback. I'm sorry.
Exactly. They were smart by not naming the starter at all until like last minute. That was brilliant. So I got to give Saturday credit for that, bro, because he kept it close to him right before the game started. Like, yep, let's throw Matt Ryan in there. Let's see, because they've been prepping for Ehlinger the whole week. So yeah, I got to give him credit, man. Like he did his thing. He definitely did his thing, bro.
Yeah, Sniper Jones says D tackle, linebacker, edge, and safety pickups is what we need. Our linebacker core is a joke. Either can't cover or can't stuff the run. We need linebackers that can do both. I disagree. We were just talking about that, Sniper. I like Darian Butler. I like Luke Messon. I like Divine Diablo. I'm fine with Jayon Brown and Denzel Perryman moving on at the end of the year. But those guys the other guys I mentioned are still young, and they all show potential, in all facets of being a linebacker. I would still like to add one because I did say earlier, ideally you have 4 that you can rotate in and out on the inside. Yeah. But these 3 young guys that we do have, I do really want to keep, and I like these guys.
Yeah, and Sniper, I will say D tackle. Yeah, we definitely need an interior
for sure,
especially when it comes to the pass rush. That's the reason why we're not getting sacks, is because we don't have an interior pass rush. Linebackers, I'm going to disagree with you as far as stopping the run. I think that's our strength. They can stop the run. They come in there and they handle business, but we can't cover worth a damn. So, you're 50-50 on that one, but you're absolutely right when it comes to the D tackles and one more edge rusher. Safety. Yeah, safety, yeah. And one more edge rusher wouldn't hurt either. Like, I mean, put him in rotation, but I wouldn't go first round off an edge rusher unless you're getting Will Anderson.
Yeah, that's about the only one.
Yeah.
And bro, I'm sorry if we were able to still get our quarterback of the future and somehow pick up Jalen Carter, I'll do a fucking backflip.
Man, that'd be nice, man.
Waiting for an experienced vet at the linebacker position, proven player. I am if it's the right player. But when it comes to experience, I don't want a guy who's over 30. I don't want a guy who's almost 30. If we can find a way to get a young linebacker who's like 26, 27 years old and is not coming off a season where he looked like a shell of himself, like Jayon Brown, then yeah, I don't want anybody else's garbage anymore. We did this with Corey Littleton, looked great before we brought him in. Shit for us. Jayon Brown looked kind of like what he looks like now. A season ago, we still brought him in and took a chance on him. I don't want to do that again. I really think we missed the boat by not trading. I'm sorry. I would have gave a second round pick and another pick for Roquan Smith.
You know what? And that bus hasn't left completely. I mean, I believe he's a free agent after this season.
Is he?
Is he a free agent? I think so. I mean, the Ravens didn't sign him to a contract yet. He's still on that rookie deal, I believe.
If he's available in free agency and you go pick him up, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's like on a temporary, like he's still on that deal with the Bears, that Bears deal. So
was he a free agent after this year with the Bears?
Say again?
Was he a free agent after this year with the Bears?
Yeah, I think he was. Let me pull up Spot Track, bro, just to confirm that with you, bro. Okay. But I think that like he's still a free agent after the season, bro. So it's not a
throw the bag at Roquan Smith.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Let me see. Let me see real quick, man. Pull this up. Let's see. So I got 2023 linebackers. Where are we going? Linebackers?
Yeah.
All
If we
right.
get a top 3 to 5 pick, do y'all go quarterback or get the best player available? That's a tough one, man. I believe if one of the top 3 quarterbacks are on the board, you you got there's you got to go. I think you got to go with it. I think you got to go quarterback. If you have a plan to trade back into the first and maybe get a Will Levis, I would be okay with that. But if you have a shot to go get CJ Stroud, I don't think you can pass that up.
Yeah.
Unless I was thinking about this today. If we go out and get a bridge quarterback and we move off our pick this year in order to get 2 picks to have 2 firsts next year, this is all obviously like just me thinking. But if we can move off our pick this year and get 2 picks next year in the first, man, and go get Caleb Williams and just use a bridge quarterback this year,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind Caleb Williams. Dude looks
Caleb,
phenomenal.
Caleb Williams is no joke, man.
Yeah.
He's no joke, and he's very Patrick Mahomes ish. You
Yeah.
know, like he does both, bro. He can run the ball, like, and he's very like he improvises, bro. Like I'm a big SC fan, so I know a lot about this dude. Like I've been watching him all season, and he looks good, man. I think he would be a number 1 pick this year if he went out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I believe so too.
let me see. So
Sniper's a SC fan too, likes Caleb Williams.
oh yeah, fight on, man. We gonna smash UCLA this weekend, man. We got him.
Yeah. Also, Quinn Ewers will be coming out next year too, and he don't look half bad either.
You know who's nice though
Uh,
is that freshman quarterback from North Carolina.
I haven't seen him.
Drake May. Oh,
I haven't watched him yet.
Bro, he might win Heisman this year, bro. The North Carolina's 9-1, and they're like, bro, this dude's throwing for like 300 a pop, like every game, bro. Like he's a true freshman too. Like I don't think he's coming out to like 25 or 24, bro.
Shit. Well, hey, if we fuck up the quarterback this year, we can grab another one in 2 years.
Bro, I hope we don't fuck up that long, bro. It would be nice to have him, bro. I don't want him if that means we're gonna be losing for another 2 years, man.
Yeah.
Man.
You know, it's been 20. What's another 2?
You know what? No, man. I don't know how much more I can take, bro.
I know, bro. We're all on the cliff right now.
Man, you know what? So here it is, man. Roquan his base salary is $575K for the rest of the season. And
why did we not jump on that already?
Yeah, bro. He's getting paid pennies right now with the Ravens, and he's an undrafted. He's a unrestricted free agent in 23.
Oh man, I would love it.
26 years old.
I would love it.
Yeah, but the Ravens aren't stupid, bro. Like, but
they're gonna bring him back
now. Yeah, they're gonna bring him back. They're gonna sign him. They'll probably sign him before the free agent period. But if he stays a free agent, like, bro, that's somebody to look forward to. That might be somebody we need to go after. It might be the first guy we go after.
Right. That'd be nice. Who else is Marcus Davenport from the Saints is also a free agent this year that I really, really would love to have on our line.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
I want to come back to the free agency and draft talk, but we listening to Graf this morning.
Yeah, I tuned in. I tuned in a little bit.
Graf kind of opened my eyes a little bit to what might be going on with this team. He might have something. He's talking about this might have been the plan the whole time. And Mark Davis just came out earlier today and said Josh McDaniels is doing a great job.
Yo, hearing that it upsets me. But you know what? Like as a fan, that upsets me. But if I was really looking at a business standpoint, I mean, what do you expect from an owner, right? Especially at the beginning of the season. Like if you do know that this isn't going to be the year, you can't sell that to the fan base and tell them like, hey, this isn't it this year. I want you guys to be patient. Nobody's going to those games. You know what I mean? Like businessman wise, like I understand why he didn't do it, but man, that's some BS, bro. Like, we were really sold like this team was going to really get, kind of get over the hump as far as winning a playoff game at the very least. And man, I didn't expect them to go 2-7. Maybe not the playoffs. Like, okay, if we didn't make the playoffs,
if we went 8-9, I would have been like, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, even with a winning record like 9-8 or something, like
I talked so much shit this offseason,
bro. I talked too much, bro. Like it was. That's what makes it so worse, bro. Is because like this is the most trash I've talked in like 20 years about the Raiders, bro. Like I'm pretty humble when it comes to the Raiders. Like every year, I'm like, we'll see how it goes.
Right.
But no, bro, I was heavy, bro. Like I was telling everybody, like, watch the Raiders. You guys are giving disrespect, this and that, bro. Yeah. I was.
Sniper wants to know. He says the game that broke him was about the third quarter of the Saints game this season, where he was just like, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
At what point did y'all say screw the season?
You know what?
Probably the Saints game.
It was okay. So I turned that game off early, but I don't necessarily say that I said screw it.
I turned it off early too.
I turned it off early, but I was like, all right, next week. You know what I mean? I think where I officially said screw it is when we went down 10 against the Colts, and we went for it on fourth down, and then like Devontae missed the block, and we ended up getting stopped on that fourth down. I turned that off. I didn't watch the rest of the game until the fourth quarter.
I watched the whole game, and it's like I felt the same way as you. And then they give you that little spark. You start seeing them do good shit, like that car play where he ran up through the middle and fired that shit to Adams, and Adams took it to the house.
Yeah,
that shit. That was like, where is this all fucking year, all game, consistently? Why not?
You know what the problem is with DC, bro? Like, I don't want to start DC stuff because you know how that goes, but this is the problem with DC.
I wish this shit would happen on my chat.
Man, yeah. But the problem with DC is that like this dude will throw like the most beautiful pass. Like we saw a pass against the Chiefs where he threw it to on that fourth down. In the first quarter, he threw it to Devontae. Like he was, I think it was not the first touchdown, but the second one where he was like kind of on the run, like almost stepping up into the pocket and threw it, and then just threw it just right into the basket and towards the back of the end zone. It was like a 55-yard, like it was pretty. It was a beautiful pass, right? You get that, right? And then you got another one against the Jags last week where Renfro's going on an out route. He throws it, and it's like dropping a bucket, another one of those kind of passes. And then you got the Colts one where he steps up in the pocket and throws a laser to Devontae Adams for a touchdown. You got those, bro. And then it's like, man, this looks great. This is elite type quarterbacking right here. But then with that, you get sitting in the pocket for too long or checking down to somebody when you got somebody open way down the field. Like, bro, it's so frustrating watching Derek Carr because you expect him to do those things that he shows that like maybe he is an elite quarterback. You expect that at a consistent rate, and he just doesn't do it, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. I
don't know if I've ever seen a quarterback that can play, like, has so much variance between the height of his game and the basement of his game.
I can't think of one, bro.
He came out last year in those first 3 games and looked like the best quarterback in football.
Right.
The best. Better than Mahomes, better than Josh Allen.
Yeah.
For those 3 games, he looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And then there's other games where it's like, how the fuck do you play in the NFL with the decision making you have and some of the throws you make and the throwing the ball on the ground and the running out of bounds on fourth down or third down instead of just trying to do something? It's like there's so much that, and I think that's why the whole Kardashian thing exists, is because everybody sees what he could do, what he can do, and what he has done.
Right.
And then they also see him go out there and look like a whole sack of dog shit.
Right. And then just off the playoff game alone against the Bengals, right? That final drive, he gets down the field. He throws a laser to Darren Waller. He gets down the field, marches all the way down to the 9-yard line. But then when it comes on fourth down and goal or whatever it was,
the dumbest fucking thing.
Bro, he makes the stupidest decision and throws it, to Zay Jones in double coverage. Like, that's what we're getting with Derek Carr, bro. And I understand, like, I kind of understand why you would pay somebody like that, because you see the potential. You know what I mean? Once what can happen,
and you hope, and that, and that once it does click, you got something special. But it just never clicks fully.
Right. And then on top of that, it's like, okay, if the issue is okay, let's bring in A, B, and C because you've never had these elite guys with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You expect at the beginning of the season, okay, we've seen you do this. We've seen you throw elite passes, but we haven't seen you do it with the type of weapons that we're about to give you right now.
And then he gets the top
And
three
he just
tight end, a top 3 slot receiver, the number 1 wide receiver in football, a top 10 running back. It's like, what the fuck else do you need? There's nothing else that anybody can give you.
Yeah, and he's laying an egg, bro. So now it's time for him to go at this point because, hey, we gave you what you needed and you haven't delivered. You're still giving us that inconsistent play that we've seen for the previous 8 years, and now it's time to move on because it's just you're not doing it. It's just at this point we can see that it's you,
right?
It's between the ears at some point. Like I don't know what it is, but it's just the only thing I can attribute it to is it between the ears, and he's not doing it at a consistent rate, or I don't know what it is, or maybe I don't know, bro. Like either way, I don't want to find out after this season.
Yeah. Sniper says we drafted Carr. I felt like he was the quarterback we win a Super Bowl with. Absolutely. Me too. After he took the job from Matt Schaub in the preseason with that game against Seattle where he went off on them, against their starting defense for most of the game. I was like, oh. We haven't seen that because, I mean, you go through all the quarterbacks we had before him. Even the littlest spark out of a quarterback made us feel like they were special. But Carr kept it going. Even his first year where we went 2-14. Still when the things would go good, it would be him.
Yeah.
All the way up through 2016. And then after that, it was just like, I don't recognize this guy. It's not the same dude. He said, although it's not on him, it hurts me to admit it's time for a fresh start. And that's what I am in full agreement with you. I would rather win with Derek Carr than some other quarterback. It doesn't seem right that Derek is probably leaving.
Yeah. It's really unfair, man, to some extent. I'll give him that. Like there was some years, like he went through 2 rebuilds since he's been here.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty jacked up. Like 2014, he jumped in. He was put into a rebuild situation when he was drafted. He lost his first 10 games, and he took a lot of lumps. And then he ascended from there. 2015 he played very well. 2016 he was an MVP candidate and got hurt.
Yeah,
and then
he kind of would have got it if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, he probably would have got it and probably would have took us to the Super Bowl. And then you get after 2017, the rug got pulled from up under him when Gruden came in, shipped 2 of his best friend Khalil Mack, and shipped his number 1 receiver. So boom, you're in another rebuild. You know what I mean? So that's a raw deal. I'll give him that. But you have a situation now where you're giving elite pieces now. Now I know Darren Waller's been injured, and Hunter Renfro's been injured, but you got Devontae Adams, man, and you're still struggling. And you got a running game, that's playing, there's flashes of top 5 running game in the league with Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
And the quarterback play with him, I don't know if you want to attribute that to just poor coaching but it's just not where it needs to be. He's missing the mark. And I think if it is going to be another whatever's going to happen with this team, like Derek Carr is just not a part of that. He's just not a part of it. I think he needs a fresh start if he goes somewhere else.
Right.
It's been 2 3 times.
Yeah. I don't think it's only right for us. I think it's right for Carr.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do think that there's a strong chance that he retires if we get rid of him.
Well, I mean, he said he wants to be a Raider for his career, and if he's not going to play here, he doesn't want to play at all. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't think that's the case, man. I think he's going to still play somewhere.
I hope not, because I think he could go somewhere else, find the right situation, and win.
Yeah,
it's not because we think Carr as a whole is a bad quarterback.
No.
It's just the fact that it's been 9 years. It hasn't happened. After it's at some point, you got to try something else. The definition of insanity is trying the same shit over and over again, expecting a different result. And that's what we've been doing. I'd say after 6-7 years is when it started becoming repetitive bullshit. And we were kind of catching on to this isn't going to work.
Yeah, I mean, he should have been shipped out in 2018. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
we should have moved on from him and started with a new quarterback at that point when Gruden came into town, and kicked pretty much everybody to the wayside and wanted to build his team in his image. So he kind of Carr. I think that's where the animosity towards Carr and the division in Raider Nation started, was when John Gruden came in and kind of didn't 100% fully endorse DC as his guy.
Right. If you're not going to fully endorse your quarterback, go get your own fucking guy.
Right. And he did him a disservice in doing that too.
And I guarantee you that didn't help his confidence either. He's taken every blow to your confidence that you can take in this league.
Absolutely. Yeah, he needs a fresh start, man. It's becoming toxic for both ends. Carr needs a new change of scenery, and we need a fresh leader, a new leader that can come in at the quarterback position and bring a whole new, just a whole new look to the team and attitude, because Derek Carr is just not that guy. I like him on the Saints, man. I would like him to see him somewhere in New Orleans, or if Tom Brady leaves Tampa, I can see him going over there and playing well. Like,
I can see him in New England.
I mean, but they got two youngsters over there. You know what I mean? Like,
and they're both dog shit.
Yeah. I don't like Mac Jones, bro. I'll give you Mac Jones.
They're not horrible, but it's very clear.
Pretty good, bro. I like Zappy.
Yeah, I think he's okay for what he is. And it seems like every year there's a rookie like Mac Jones that goes out and looks better than they are because nobody's really game planned for him yet. And as soon as they game plan for him, you get this year's Mac Jones.
Yeah, that's true. But what? Mac Jones reminds me a lot. I mean, Carr's more athletic than Mac Jones. But as far as like trajectory and what you're going to get from the quarterback position, I see Mac Jones being the new DC. Like 5 years from now, we're going to be talking the same. We're going to be having that same discussion with Mac Jones.
Like, why the fuck the Patriots not getting rid of this dude?
Exactly, bro. That's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to be the new DC, bro.
Yeah, I can see that. And I mean, and I was going to say, it don't matter that DC's more athletic because DC don't fucking use it.
Right, exactly.
You'll use it for a game or two and get really excited. Everybody will be like, oh, finally. And then nothing.
And then what happened?
Sniper says Eagles moved on from Wentz and got Jalen Hurts. Bengals moved on from Dalton and got Burrow. Mm-hmm. Chiefs moved on from Alex Smith and got Mahomes. We need to pull the trigger and get a fresh QB that can lead. Absolutely. I'm drawn to, out of this draft class, CJ Stroud above anybody else. I like Will Levis a lot too. But I think
Will Levis needs to win a big game for me, bro. I mean, he's playing against SEC defenses, and he hasn't looked good against SEC defenses. And that's about as close as you're going to get with an NFL defense, bro.
Right. I forget who he's playing this week. I feel like he's playing somebody pretty good this week.
Georgia. Right? They got number 1 Georgia, I think, this week.
Hey, so, if you want to make a statement,
you need to throw for at least 3 bills against Georgia, bro. If
he goes out there and he throws for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns, he automatically becomes the new number 1 draft pick.
Absolutely. But if he throws for 5 picks against Georgia,
he's going to go to the second round. Hendon Hooker's going to leapfrog him.
Exactly. So this is a big game. If Raider fans, I would say, like, hey, you need to be watching that Kentucky game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Kentucky, Georgia, you get to see Jalen Carter on there. You get to see Will Levis. That's a game that we should be paying attention to for sure.
Yep. Absolutely, bro.
So, do you believe that that after a certain point in the season, maybe the very beginning when they hired the coach and the GM, do you think that at some point in the season that tanking has become the plan?
I think the front office, that's their goal, but I don't think these players are trying to tank.
I agree.
But you know what? The coaches, it's all up to coaches too. And I think maybe McDaniels is getting the word like, hey, we're tanking. And if it means he's calling shitty play calls.
And at very critical points in the game, I've noticed that's when his shitty play calls happen.
Yep. Because
he'll call great plays the whole game, and then you'll get to a situation where you really fucking need something.
Yep.
And it's like 4th and 2, pitch it 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage to Jacobs.
Yeah.
With no room on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it is, we'll really see with this game against the Broncos what they're trying to do as far as the future. Because here's the thing. We beat the Broncos, we're in 3rd place.
That's insane.
We're in 3rd place. So that also affects next year's scheduling, and that also affects draft, draft placement.
Yeah.
Now the Broncos don't have that pick; it's the Seahawks pick, right? Because of the Russell Wilson. So, the Broncos have more incentive and more of a reason to win these games. Since they're not going to get that pick anyway.
Absolutely.
So if the Raiders go out there and they look like shit, it's pretty obvious, like, hey, this team is tanking,
Yeah.
So we'll see a lot what happens in this game against the Broncos, what's going to happen, like what their intentions are, because it is going to point to exactly what the plans are for the Raiders. So if they get shellacked by like 20 points by the Broncos, then it's like, okay, we get it now. You guys are tanking, So that's going to be interesting to watch this weekend, man.
Yeah, and I still believe that with the guys we have on this roster and the team we do have, if we weren't 2-7 and this was like the first game of the season, bro, absolutely we should go out there and just stomp the shit out of this team.
Yeah, I mean, we've had their number for the last 3 years, and I don't.
What was it, five games in a row we beat them?
Yeah, we beaten them. We whooped their ass the last 4 or 5 years, something like that. And like, bro, if we're gonna win a game, I want to beat the Broncos, bro. Like, I don't like the Broncos, so I hope that they have at least some sort of pride. Like, hey, let's whoop their ass.
For me, it's not much of a Raider rivalry, but I live in Washington State, and I don't know if you've ever come in contact with fucking Seahawks fans.
You know what? I didn't know Seahawks fans existed till like before 2012 because
they didn't.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought, because
there was some, and those are the fans that were there before I'm cool with. But this whole 12 shit didn't start until after 2013.
When I see people wearing number 12 jerseys, bro, and I'm like, come on, man, you've been a Seahawks fan since 2012, man.
Yeah, I went to a game in Seattle in 2006, and it was Monday Night Football in Seattle. Raiders Seahawks. We lost 16-0. Randy Moss, that's the game where they threw it and he kicked the ball.
Yep.
And there was like 50-50 on the fans.
Wow.
It was just as much Raider fans. Fast forward to 2013 or 14 when we had Carr and Mack, and Bruce Irvin was still he jumped over the next year. And we played really, really close game. We almost came back and won at the very end, but we lost that one too. I got some Seahawks fans. You go to a different team's game and they're gonna talk that shit.
Yeah.
And I stood up in my section. I was like, where the fuck did you motherfuckers come from? Because you weren't here 7 years ago.
Yo,
you guys weren't here.
Yep. That's what it is, man. You know that's exactly what it is. That I can't respect people who go out and just start like following a team just because they started winning. Like, where were you when they were, mediocre or just really bad at some point? You know what I mean? Like,
that's why it's real hard to shit talk Raider fans, no matter how bad we are, because the fans that are there have been there and stayed there. Yeah. And there's no bandwagon to fucking jump on with us. Not recently.
Like, you're jumping into a shit show. Like, if you become a Raider fan, like, bro, like, what do you can't bash us, bro. Like, there's nothing to bash at this point,
Yeah, like following one of your friends to being a Raider fan is the epitome of, if he jumps off a cliff, you jumping too?
Right. Yeah. Like, hey, this is advice to anybody who's not a Raider fan, who, like, if you have a friend who's a Raider fan, bro, he's gonna ride with you to the end, man.
Yeah,
he's gonna ride with you to the end. Like, you don't have to worry about him stabbing you in the back, bro. He's a Raider fan, man.
He's loyal as fuck.
He's loyal as fuck, bro.
He's with you through the lows.
Right, bro. It's like, man. But that's how it is, man. You saw the same thing in the 90s with the Cowboys in LA. Like, nobody, like, I think there's a lot of Cowboys fans out here in LA because there was for two reasons. It was the Raiders were on their way out, the Rams were on their way out, and the Cowboys were winning a bunch of Super Bowls. So, whenever you got a team that's like, winning a bunch of games, there's those fair weather fans that want to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
And, once you pick a team, the rule is you pick a team, you can't pick another one. That's
No.
it.
You know
So
what
that's why
the worst motherfuckers in the world are?
the ones
I
that
got
don't.
2 favorite teams.
Right.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I run a liquor store. That's my 9 to 5.
Okay.
And I'll be behind the counter and I'll see I've seen people walk up with a Raider hat and a Seahawks hoodie. And I'm just like,
How did that happen?
we can see you?
Right. Like, you gotta choose one, bro.
Yeah, I like
One.
both of them. Like, what?
I mean, both.
What happens if they play each other? You just out
Yeah.
here arguing with yourself?
Yeah, like, hey, what's funny is they probably don't even remember or realize that they're in the same division at some point.
Right.
That's
Most people don't know that at all. Did you know the Seahawks actually started out in the NFC though?
They did. Yep, they were
For
originally
like a year or two,
like a year, and then they jumped over to the AFC West.
and they were there for like 30 years.
Yep.
Not 30. They started in 77, like 20 years.
Yeah, a little like 23, 24. Yeah. And then we whooped their ass every year we played them too. We'd go up to Seattle, whoop their ass. They'd come down to Oakland or LA, whoop their ass.
Then they swapped out and we got the whack ass Chargers in our division. I would much rather be a rival with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
The Chargers are kind of irrelevant to me.
To me, yeah. But you know what?
I only get hype. I only get like division rivalry hype for those games when it's like motherfuckers like Joey Bosa talking out his nose.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, you know what's funny about Charger fans, bro? It's like there's not that many of them, but they have the biggest mouths.
Yeah. And it's like what do you have to argue for?
Right.
You have nothing.
But you know what? They get excited when they beat the Raiders, bro. That's their shit. Like
it's their Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, like, oh, we won. Like that first game, bro. Like they were, what happened, man? You thought you guys were gonna bro. All right, cool.
It's like, what'd you get out of that?
Yeah, like, all right, cool. Congratulations. You want a certificate that you beat us? Like,
do you follow Kenny King?
Yeah.
Bro, he's always going at it with Charger fans.
Bro, you know what? And is like Charger fans I can't stand, but I respect Chiefs fans because it's a healthy rivalry.
They got, especially over the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's a healthy rivalry, and we have nothing to say when it comes to them. But they don't come at us and like throw it in your face. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, hey, it is what it is, and it's a healthy rivalry. And they a lot of them respect the rivalry that is the Raiders and Chiefs because it's been going on for so many years.
Yeah, even Denver, same.
Yep. Yeah.
I think they're kind of the pissant of the division, but
Yeah, you know why I don't like the Broncos because of this year, especially now with the whole like Russell Wilson,
I'm so happy that blew up in their face.
Yeah, bro. Like I went to the NFL draft this year and like I saw so many Russell Wilson jerseys. Like I was like, he didn't even play a game yet, bro. Like, are you kidding me? Like, give it a second, let's see what happens. Like, and sure enough, like it's not working out over there, bro.
No, and they're stuck.
They are.
Bro, no draft capital, no cap room. Stuck without contract.
You know what saved them though is they got rid of Bradley Chubb and got a first round pick out of it.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't have got rid of Bradley Chubb. To be honest.
But yeah, that's what I was about to say. But you got to get rid of Bradley Chubb, and you're not getting Will Anderson. That's the only player that's probably going to end up being as good.
Yeah, because they get the Dolphins' first round pick, and that's going to be a late first.
Sniper says Pete Carroll's a G. I call him Sneaky Pete. He had a great draft, knew when to let go of Wilson for picks, and knew when to leave USC before the hammer came down on the program. Call him Sneaky Pete.
Yeah, Sneaky Pete, bro. I got to call that from now on, bro.
Striking gold in 23 is absolutely vital because if Sean Payton decides to go to the Chargers and unlocks Justin Herbert, buckle up. He ain't going to the Chargers.
He better not go to the Chargers.
He's going to Dallas.
I mean, he's been connected to Dallas for years, so it wouldn't surprise me if he did, bro. But those kind of situations, like you see Sean Payton, like you see a lot of people, like I don't know, I can't think of a time in the past, but it'll be like a coach that's been connected with this team for years and years, or even a player, like, oh yeah, this player's going here, and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, then there's coaches that take advantage of that and use it for leverage.
Yep.
They do what Ndamukong Suh does to us and kicks us in the soul every year.
Man,
I'm so glad that motherfucker's getting old and we don't have to want him anymore.
Yeah, I know, because he's been playing us for years at this point.
We've been pulling on our heartstrings and playing with our emotions forever.
Man, he's like that girl that hit you up, like, hey, and then you're like, oh shoot, for real, she hit me up. Throw her a little text, like, hey, what's good? And then she just, dang, you didn't even get back to me. All right.
Yeah, no.
And then you hear from her like 3 months later, like, bro,
For real.
like, dang, bro,
Yeah,
played
and
us.
I'm just convinced he has no interest in coming here.
No, bro, especially at this point. And next year, like, he's way too old, bro. It's time to move
Yeah.
on. Like,
That motherfucker had to go on TV and everything, but the Raiders would be fun.
Yeah,
Fuck
get
you.
out of here, man. Played us, bro.
For real.
Sad.
Jumping back into free agency. Who else do you really have your eye on? All right, Sniper Man, you have a good night, bro. I appreciate you coming up.
All right, bro.
We have to get you up here soon.
Yeah, definitely. Free agent, bro. Like, I was looking at Spot Track, and there's a lot of free agents, especially with the offensive line.
Yeah.
So, that's probably the route that I would go as far as free agency goes. I'm definitely going O line, and if you can find somebody in the D line, like I'm rolling with that. So here's the list. I pulled up the list for next year's draft. Not draft. Next year's free agency. So there's key guys like Orlando Brown, the left tackle for the Chiefs.
Didn't the Chiefs? I thought the Chiefs extended him.
Yeah. They just extended him. Then you got you got Marcus Peters. You got Jack Conklin at right tackle. That's a pretty good one that you could pick up.
I just don't know if I want to sign a tackle to start. I really like Thayer Mumford, man.
Yeah. You know what? And to me, I think Thayer Mumford is a good depth piece. He's a 7th round pick. Now, I don't know how good he is. We don't know how good he is because Illuminor has been starting the last couple of games.
Oh man, I wish they get that motherfucker off the field. What's up, Van City?
Yo, Van City. What's up, bro?
Me and Van City are gonna link up in Seattle.
Oh, dope, man. I wish I can make it, man.
Me too, man. Where you live in LA, right?
I live in LA. Yeah, well, Oxnard, which is like an hour north of LA.
Got you. See, man, you're even closer than LA.
Yeah,
no, that's a long trip. I drove to Oakland for the very last game in Oakland, and that shit was a trek.
Man, I don't know how you did it, man. I drove up to Portland once, and that was
it was in December too.
Shit, I drove in like January when I did it that one time, bro. Never again, bro.
Yeah, bro. We hit Klamath Falls, like the most northern part of Oregon.
Yeah.
Bro, it was a complete fucking blizzard. Like, I'm talking about not seeing 5 feet in front of you, ice, all that. We were going 10 miles an hour on the highway.
Jeez. Yeah, man. I'm from Southern California. We don't do snow, bro.
Unfortunately, we do just snow and cold and bullshit, except for maybe 3 months of the year.
Yeah. See, you know what? I don't mind it, bro, but I don't know the driving part, bro. I'm not used to it. You know that
I've never been on a plane in my life.
Really? Oh yeah. Man.
If Snoqualmie Pass over here on the way to Seattle is really, really blocked up with snow and ice, and they close it up, I might be hopping on a little 30-minute flight to Seattle.
Okay. Yeah, man. Flights are cool, bro. Especially you can find a cheap one too. Like it's straight, man. But it is a little stressful if it's like your first time, like getting through the airport and all that stuff. Like, start your day early, bro. That's what I'll give my advice.
If we're gonna go, we're leaving the house at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, definitely, man. Now for the free agency, bro. Like, there's some guys, but there's nothing that like really sticks out, bro. Like, let me see. Nah, there's dudes like Levante David. He's a little bit older now. He's 32 from the Bucks. Like
I wouldn't like I said, I didn't want to bring anybody old, but I don't want to bring in anybody old on a big deal like we did Chandler Jones. But if we could get a Levante David on a 1 year, little small deal, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, and then you got like if we get rid of Darren Waller and we don't sign Foster Moreau because he's a free agent as well. You got Mike Gesicki out there.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
That's a solid replacement at tight end.
I think he's better than Moreau, and I wonder how much he's going to get paid.
Yeah, I mean he might be asking for a lot of money. That's the only problem.
I think if he was a free agent last year, he'd have got a lot more money.
Yeah,
This year with Tyreek coming in and Waddle just getting more and more touches, his production's really gone down. But
right.
he's still when they need him, he's there.
Yeah. So you got here's one that's interesting. Now I know that Trayvon Merrick hasn't really been working out. You know, he hasn't been looking as good as we expected. And I know Waste was talking on his show that he might be more of a cover 3 type of dude. It just doesn't necessarily fit in Patrick Graham's system. But if we do get rid of him, there is a Jordan Poyer out there.
Ooh, that'd be real nice.
It's nice. I mean, he's 31, but you get somebody who's experienced at that position
and elite
and has like that winner's pedigree. You can sign him, you know, maybe a 2-year deal or something.
Yeah.
And, you know,
and draft somebody to play under him.
Exactly. So, you know, that's something to look at. I thought there was a lot more offensive linemen that were available.
I really don't want to fuck with the offensive line that much.
You know what?
Maybe some depth pieces, but the guys we have in place, I think I want to sign one spot to start. I want a starting guard. I don't want John Simpson or Alex Barr starting. But everywhere else, I'm kind of cool.
Yeah, you're right. Because I mean, you got Colton Miller. He hasn't been looking good as of late, but I'm still rolling with Colton Miller. And then you got Andre James. He's been looking decent. I like his game.
He's getting better every year.
Yeah, Parham. And then, you know, we don't know what we have with Thayer Mumford yet, but you know, he's gonna improve. So
I'd get somebody, if I'm gonna sign somebody at right tackle, I'd get somebody who's cheap and you could just give Thayer Mumford a run for his money in camp and really push him to make him earn the spot again.
Yep.
Just someone to compete with him every single day. And if Thayer Mumford, you know, doesn't do the thing, we still got somebody we can fall back on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think who's that 49ers right tackle, McGlinchey?
Mike McGlinchey. Yeah, he came out when Colt Miller came out.
Yeah, I think he's a free agent. McGlinchey.
That'd be real nice too.
Yeah.
He's still young. Give him a run. He's what, 28, 27?
Yeah. You give him a good run, man. I mean, if the 49ers don't re-sign him, you know, you throw him in there.
I don't think the 49ers are going to have a lot of cash.
Probably not.
Especially with McCaffrey now.
Yeah, they're definitely in like win now mode for sure. So, you know, they're going all in, and you know, that is a dark horse Super Bowl team this year.
Yeah. So. If their offense starts to really click and mesh, that defense is already nasty.
Yeah, because I'm not really sold on the Eagles, and then the Vikings are right below there, and you know, it's up for grabs, bro. It's up for grabs in the NFC.
Yeah. Phillies, I think they're really good, but
you
haven't beaten anybody but Dallas, and Dallas hadn't beaten anybody.
Yeah, and you know what who they remind me of, bro? They remind
me of the Steelers.
They remind me of the Steelers from 2020, and they remind me of the Cardinals from last year.
Yeah.
Remember, the Cardinals were red hot last year, and then they kind of ran out of gas towards the end of the season. I could see the same thing happening to the Eagles.
If we bring back Illuminor, I'm gonna barf. Yeah, me too, bro.
Yeah, man.
I don't think we got to worry about that. I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah,
I don't mind. I don't mind having Illuminor on the team. The man just shouldn't be a starter.
No, he's not a starter. I mean, good depth piece.
I think it'd be a good. Yeah, if we kept him along just for depth and really, really, really cheap contract, I wouldn't mind having Illuminor. He can play multiple spots on the line, and he doesn't seem to, you know, be battling injuries all the time. I really wouldn't mind, you know, having him. He's just not a starter. Like he should be getting no starting snaps right now. It should be all Thayer Mumford, especially now when we're 2-7. Give Mumford all the looks you can give him.
Yeah, I don't want to see Illuminor for the rest of the season.
I don't even really want to see Denzel Perryman the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'll give you that too, because we need to start seeing what we have in Masterson
and Butler,
and Butler. So, so I pulled up. So if we do grab another guard, we got. Let me see. We got Roger Saffold, he's a little bit older now though. He's 34, so I don't know if I'll roll with that. But we did have Incognito at like 38, so I can see him trying to pick up somebody like a Saffold. And then you got Justin Pugh from
You remember the first time we tried to pick up Saffold?
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah. Maybe we'll get another chance this time, you know what I mean? At 35, but you know.
It's like Step Brothers. We man, I wish we had this shit when we were younger. Well, we got it now when we're 40.
Right. Bro, that's totally a Raider move. We would go back to that, bro. Like, man, I can see that, bro, for sure. Oh, Andre Dillard at tackle. He's a
that wouldn't be bad either. That's a good young target. That's kind of exactly the type of dude I'm talking about to go head to head with Mumford.
Yeah. Nice guard is Trey Turner.
Yeah.
From the Commanders, 29 years old.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind him opposite of Dylan Parham.
Yep. So there's some solid pieces at
none of those guys seem like they would demand a lot of money.
Exactly. They're not like star guys. I mean, maybe McGlinchey might be a little too
he might steep. He might be a $10-11 million a year guy.
Yeah, even Andre Dillard might be a little steep too, but besides that, man, the rest of these guys that we can afford them. Isaiah Wynn is another guy that's been on our radar for a while. He's going to be a free agent, so that's something to look at too. So,
yeah, I wasn't a big like when people talk about Wynn. I kind of watched him. He has his days where he looks like a fucking turnstile. I'm not. Yeah. I mean, maybe for like the same thing with Illuminor, maybe for a depth piece, but I wouldn't bring him in to be a starter.
Yeah, but you know what? You need somebody if you are going with Thayer Munford, right? If that's going to be your starter, you bring in somebody like an Isaiah Wynn to challenge him.
Right. Same thing with like what I was saying with Andre Dillard. Absolutely.
Right. So you bring somebody that's kind of neck and neck as far as that ability, and challenge Munford to be better than kind of just iron sharpens iron kind of deal.
Absolutely.
Get him ready for next season.
Absolutely. What do we got at interior defensive line?
Interior defensive line, let me pull that up, bro. I don't think offensive line is pretty deep, bro. But let me see. Let me pull up the D tackles. Tackle. Huh. So we got. I'm just gonna name. That's actually not bad. So we got Fletcher Cox. He's a little bit older. We've been calling for him for the last couple of years, but he's only 31.
Starting to get real Ndamukong Suh like.
Yeah, but
except that's not his call.
Yeah. But 32 years old, bro, he still got some gas in the tank. You sign him to a 2-year deal, like that might be something to look at.
I wouldn't be upset with that, Van City. Deron Payne would be nice.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Deron Payne. He's a free agent next year too. He's a
monster.
He's 25 years old, bro. I throw the bag at him, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the Roquan Smith of the defensive line right there.
Yeah, Deron Payne. That might be the guy. That might be the guy we need to go at. And then Larry Ogunjobi.
I wouldn't be mad at that either.
Yeah, we should have got him last year.
Yeah,
we should have been going after him last year.
I would definitely like him as a 3-4 in. Really, he fit perfectly.
Yeah. So those are my top 3. I mean, you got the Javon Hargrave. That's solid.
Isn't what's his name from the Saints? Onyemata?
Let me see. No, they don't have him listed on this one.
No, they must have extended him or something.
Yeah, they must have extended him. But and then we got Tillery. We just picked him up.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I had that on Twitter when they first put him on waivers. I was like, please, that is a potential really, really good pickup.
Yeah.
If we get Payne, we can draft our future QB in the first round. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Unless we want Will Anderson, which,
Man, Will Anderson, he might be.
Could you imagine him and Max?
Man, bro, that's a game changer. At that point, see, that's what you do. If you're going to build the defense, because the offense, let's be honest, it doesn't really need much help. They just need continuity at this point.
Yeah, continuity, consistency.
Yeah, so you don't need – we would love to move on from Derek Carr, but maybe that's not the answer this year or next year. Maybe that's not the answer next year.
But
I'm just saying, like,
if
you could pick up a quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round And yeah, I know that like, you're giving Derek Carr like $40 million. That's not ideal, bro. That's really not. But if it is a continuity issue, you want to keep Derek Carr. That's the only thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. I would rather go
I'm
out
with
and
you,
get a.
bro. I'm with you. I'm just being devil's advocate
Yeah,
here,
I
bro.
know. I
Because
know.
you know what I mean?
If we're gonna go with a stopgap quarterback, I mean, because that's what Carr becomes at that point. If you keep
Yeah,
him,
that's the only problem. Like,
I'd rather go pay Jimmy G 18.
right. And at that point, you get rid of Derek Carr. You hit up somebody that's familiar with this offense, like you said, Jimmy G, and bring him in here for a 1-year deal, and then draft the quarterback you want.
I also on a less likely note, because he's really turned his game up this year. Daniel Jones is in the last year of his contract.
Yeah, but the question is, how much money is he going to be asking for at this point?
I give him 25.
I'll give him 25. I'll give him 22 to 25 and roll him. And
You might be able to just roll him. He's
yeah,
young enough, and he's shown this year that he still can do it.
yeah, and
You
he's a
give him
dual threat.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, he's a dual threat. He's a dual threat guy.
Yeah.
So, and then like I said, the offense isn't. Maybe it is continuity. Maybe it is something that's like, okay, give him some time to figure it out and familiarity with the offense. But defense, we need to be really heavy with picking up with changing that defense.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind a Will Anderson, and then top that with bring back Tillery, and then sign Deron Payne, bro. Like
that line,
the D line's already set, bro. Like you're good there. You know what I mean?
deal.
Like,
and then the young guys on the linebacker core just continue to grow. Maybe, and you bring in a guy a little older to kind of mentor them, not too old, but and then we're signed one more solid corner.
Yep.
To pair up with Rocky Sin if we bring him back.
Yeah, you bring back Rocky Sin. You got
draft another safety, sign another safety, and you could have your defense set at least at the top part.
Yep. So
we're gonna let's see. We cannot draft hooker. I work with the homeless population for a living, and not in any way can I see rolling into work wearing a hooker jersey being a good idea at all. Yeah. Dude, they might talk some shit on you. I don't know. I don't know.
I might take it the wrong way. And
I was trying to tell Wasted the same thing about Michael Penix. I was like, and Graf kind of echoed my statement today. Yeah. And I was like, man, I don't know if we can draft somebody whose name is one letter from penis.
Yeah, but you know what? Wasted, he made his way back around and saw it your way too, because he did say the same thing. Like,
did he? I didn't see that part.
Yeah. Bro, yeah, like
Wasted. Wasted's gonna learn one day not to go against me. He's
bro. I can't.
Shout out to my bro Wasted.
Bro. I can't wear a penis jersey, bro. I'm sorry.
What do you say? Only you, K-Town. Only you would come up. No, man.
And nobody's gonna call him Penix. They're gonna call him Penix, bro. Like it's not gonna work out, bro. Like
I can't do it. That's worse than Hooker.
Yeah, it is. It is, bro.
At least Hooker's funny.
Yeah.
Penis is just you're gonna walk around getting called penis all fucking day.
Yeah, like you got the penis jersey on, bro. Yeah, that ain't gonna work out, bro. That ain't gonna work out, man.
We're gonna get out of here in a minute. One last thing I want to touch on. Devontae Adams. Yeah. If we get rid of Carr, is Devontae Adams gonna be trying to request a trade? Or in his mind, is he here?
You know what? That's tough to say, man. That's really tough to say.
Because like with me, if you do my boy dirty, I'm not gonna be very happy with you.
Right. And you know what? It's gonna take some, and that's part of the reason why I have this small feeling like that Carr is gonna be back, because at the end of the season, I can see Mark Davis, Josh McDaniels, Derek Carr, and Devontae Adams in one room talking it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And having a discussion like, hey, bro, we're gonna give you one more year, man. Like we want to keep you both. We want to keep And it's going to be for the sake of keeping Devontae Adams, not for the sake of keeping Derek Carr.
But at that point, is it worth keeping Devontae Adams?
It is.
You think so?
It is.
Because I can see us getting 2 first-round picks for Devontae Adams at the worst-case scenario.
Yeah, but man, like
I know it's like it's been so long since we've had a guy this level.
Yeah, you know what? And these draft picks, I mean, we overvalue these first-round picks a lot, bro.
Yeah,
you know, and you know, you look at the statistics of these first-round picks actually hitting, it's not worth it. It's not worth giving up a sure shot Hall of Famer,
right,
for a couple of first-round picks.
But is having a Hall of Fame wide receiver worth not having the right guy at quarterback?
Well, you know, like I said earlier, you know, Devontae Adams is still getting his, bro. He's still getting his stats, bro.
He is, but it's like, is that all that worth potentially not making a Super Bowl run? It's at that point, are you a Devontae? It's like what we always say: are you a Carr fan or are you a Raider fan? Are you a Devontae Adams fan or are you a Raiders fan?
Yeah, you're right.
You kind of got to get to that point. Do we keep the wrong guy at quarterback who could potentially be the reason we don't go to a Super Bowl, or do we move on from, you know?
It's tough, bro.
It's all tough because there's 2 sides to everything.
It is, and you know,
What's up,
what's going on behind. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, bro.
Yeah,
we really don't know. Maybe
all we can do is speculate.
Yeah, maybe they're looking at Derek Carr like, all right, just, you know, let's be patient, man. Like we're gonna be patient with you. You know, you're our guy. You know, and I don't know, man. I don't know. And I like to think that Devontae Adams would stay a Raider because he's been a Raider fan and all that stuff, but maybe it takes for him to actually be in the organization to find out, like, hey, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean?
Very possible. Van City said, I can see a possibility of Aaron Rodgers. He's going to want out of Green Bay, and he would love to reunite with Devontae. Plus, that could be a way to keep Devontae healthy. So we talked about Darren Waller earlier, and I said, I don't think his heart's in the game anymore. I don't think so. And I can I believe that I can say the same thing potentially for Aaron Rodgers. Does Aaron Rodgers seem like somebody who wants to play football anymore?
I mean, I thought he was on his way out when he wanted to be the host of Jeopardy. To be honest with you, bro. Like, I thought that was it. Like, bro,
I didn't think he was going to play for the Packers this year at all.
Yeah.
And all I've seen him be is frustrated this year. They're not winning. Why would he want? I know, obviously, why would he want to play in Green Bay? But why do you want to go somewhere else even and potentially still, especially a team that's in a rebuild now? It's very obvious we're rebuilding. Why would you want to go to a rebuild team? I understand wanting to play with Devontae Adams again, but Devontae, I mean, if you're not playing for a Super Bowl, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And do you think he really believes he can come here and win a Super Bowl this next year? He's almost done, regardless if he comes back next year or not. It's for a good time, not for a long time.
Right. And you know, this is kind of a weird deal with Aaron Rodgers' contract. So he has a 3-year, $150 million deal.
No, I forgot about that. Fuck no.
You know, and it's gonna be one of those deals where we got to pick him up in a trade if we do.
Yeah, fuck no. If we're gonna go and if we're gonna go pay a quarterback $50 million, you better get on the phone with Lamar Jackson.
Right. But here's the thing, man. Like, you break it all down, bro. Like, I was just reading from here, and I don't know how any of this, like, this contract stuff works, but the numbers look like it's manageable. Like, you can kind of be more flexible with his numbers. So he has a $1.165 million base salary next year, $12 million signing bonus, $14 million option, and a cap hit if you let him go was like $31 million. It's kind of weird, bro. Like, by the numbers, it looks like he's not getting paid much to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what about the next year?
It's 2.2 million.
So what's his last year?
25 is 15 million.
That doesn't add up to $150 million.
Bro, that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out, where this money is coming from. Like,
it might be incentive based.
It might be 100% incentive based. It's weird, bro. Like, to me, I think those numbers can be engineered and kind of flexed. I mean, I'm not the expert with any of this stuff.
And I'm sure if Rodgers found a place where it really made him want to fucking play football again, really compete, I'm sure we could restructure his contract.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, it might be an option. And if we do have to pick him up in a trade, go ahead and give him Waller, and I'll throw in a second or third or something, bro. Like, especially if he doesn't want to be there.
Yep. All right. Well, shit. I think it's time to wrap it up. I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Yeah, bro.
This shit felt much smoother with someone to bounce some shit off of, man. I appreciate you coming on, bro. I'll definitely have you on many, many more times. I appreciate everybody in the chat for tuning in. Slowly but surely, man, we're gonna get this crowd bumped up. This chat's gonna grow, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes, man. And once again, I mentioned it the other day. Me and Big Mike got some big plans coming for 2023, man. It's gonna be very, very fun next year. So I appreciate everybody coming on, and I hope everybody has a good night. And I'll probably be back on this week for sure. And I'll see y'all then. Everybody, have a good night. See you, bro.
Peace.